Well, thank you. I'm kind of a mover when I talk. I have to say that the first time I met Ken, I immediately knew we were going to hit it off because we're both kind of quiet and reserved. Okay, now that I have your attention. Yes, it is true. When Jan Gordon is my partner in crime at Special Olympics, and I say that endearingly because we are in the development department working every day with law enforcement throughout the state of Colorado. And law enforcement is our largest grassroots fundraising organization. So we have a real love relationship with law enforcement. And so we were going to meet with Ken and his board of committee members. And I'm in a pair of black pants and a shirt and black little flats, and he says, "You want to play?" Well, he now knows if anybody challenges me, I'm going to be on the court. Well, Jan and I were just sweating like dogs, playing in our street clothes, and I ran for a ball, and my arm ended up in the fence line. So I've got some pretty good war injuries, which is in fact, I even think it spells out the initials Pickleball Ken, PK. But I have to say, I heard Ken say many, many times how special all of you are. And I must say that it's been a wonderful pickleball ride for me and for Special Olympics athletes. What I love about Ken is I will say, hey, well, you know, we've got this opportunity, and you could set up some courts in a parking lot at one of our regional softball tournaments. We're there. What time? And then I said, oh, by the way, we're having our law enforcement Special Olympics kickoff conference at the Falls Event Center in Littleton. And we had I think about 225 people there, officers from around the state, and we had about 30-some athletes there at every table. And it's kind of a similar setup. And I said, you know, you'd have to kind of work a court in between all of the tables. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. So it was remarkable to see, after we had an all-day conference, to basically set up, we had 3 nets, and we had officers partnering with athletes and playing a kitchen game of pickleball and learning the rules of pickleball. So Ken is very special as far as he's opened the world of pickleball to athletes. And, you know, the hope one day is that as pickleball grows and becomes an Olympic sport, we can embrace that through Special Olympics as well. And some of the local recreation programs, the cities, do have pickleball for adaptive recreation programs. And I also have to tell you that I know that the brain injury charity is very dear to Ken. And I must say that one of our star athletes he's gotten gold medals at the World Games in snowboarding, and he's an incredible bowler, and that dirty word sport, tennis. Sorry, he plays tennis too. We'll get him on the pickleball court though. But he was a star athlete as a little kid at 9 years old, and he had a baseball hit him in the temple, and he was in a coma for 3 months, and if it wasn't for Special Olympics, he wouldn't be able to participate in sports. So pickleball and getting to know Ken and everyone really has nurtured my life, and also all the athletes that you've reached to this point and moving forward. We're staging the Law Enforcement International Conference in 2019 at the Gaylord Hotel. Get ready, we're going to need a lot of nets. And we'll have we'll have over 1,500 officers and Special Olympics athletes from around the world for the 4-day conference. So we have a very good platform for Ken to introduce pickleball to the world under one setting at the Gaylord. So I just want to thank Ken, and it's so wonderful to meet your lovely wife, and I'm in awe that you've been married to him for that long. And I say that very lovingly, right? So thank you for letting me come. It took me almost 2.5 hours to drive 18 miles from Erie. There's a blizzard and a whiteout, and there's nothing happening in Erie and Boulder right now. But as I drove here and got very frustrated and used a few of those words that I would need you to sign for me, and I felt so frustrated and challenged, and I thought, okay, now wait a minute. This is my aha moment. God's trying to tell me, you know, Jan, this is just, as my 94-year-old mother would say, a broken zipper, because I'm being challenged for a couple hours to try to get here, whereas our athletes are challenged every single day of their lives. So I thank you for letting me ramble on. I've been honored to work with Ken and to get to know all of his committee. And I'm so excited that he has brought the pickleball world to Special Olympics athletes, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. And I know we're running late, running long. We have just a couple of quick things here, and then we'll... do you have another number?